Hello everybody, this is Manu S and welcome to another Eternal News video. Today I have something special for you. Direwolf was nice enough to give me my own first exclusive preview of the new adventure, The Tale of Horus Traver. So it's really nice to be recognized by Direwolf for the content that I make and get the chance to preview my very own first exclusive spoiler. So without further ado, here is the spoiler. There we go. Card's called Dilfek Stalker. It's a 2/2 for 3 power. Requires 1 time influence. It's a dinosaur, as we can see from the picture and the unit type at the bottom. It has Killer, and when you summon it, you can look at the top card of your deck and you may put it on the bottom. So basically scry 1 for anyone that plays Magic. Alright, so what can we do with this? First of all, the fact that it's a dinosaur brings Evelina to mind. The thing is, as a 2/2 killer, there's not a lot you can kill her without trading with it, so making it mostly like a 1-for-1 with a scry 1. Similar to, say, Extract. Not super powerful or exciting, but a role player. And sometimes you can maybe like snatch something smaller and keep the 2/2 around, which is not bad either. But it becomes really interesting once you get to buff it, like once you get the health up to 3 or more, the card starts to really shine. Another upside, even without the buff, is the fact that it's a single card answer to all the annoying, more aggressive Aegis units. Snowcrusty, Vadius, Patholo, and Silverwing Familiar. And Familiar it even kills without dying, which is sweet. So imagine turn 2 Evelina, turn 3 Dilfek Stalker. Suddenly the Stalker is a 3/3, and as a 3/3 it can kill a whole lot of stuff without dying, like all the 1-drops in the game basically, and a lot of 2-drops. Tinker Overseer, Dracano Outlaw, a Champion of Glory without the fire buff, and so on, or a buffless Champion of Fury even, which sometimes happens. So there's a bunch of things that you can suddenly just fight and keep your Dilfek Stalker around as a 3/3, and then the card is actually super swingy, getting to play a unit early on that gets you ahead on board and stays alive is pretty big, and that also ignores Aegis. And the nice thing is, in a deck with Evelina, chances are that you probably also have Obelisk, so that means even if you draw a Dilfek Stalker later and you don't have Evelina triggers anymore, you can still potentially get it to a 3/3 or 4/4 with your Obelisk and make it bigger. It also happens to be reduced in cost by Avisor Patriarch, which doesn't see that much play right now, but that might change. And also gets buffed by the Patriarch's Ultimate, so we get more and more interesting and appealing dinosaur cards to push the dinosaur tribe. So dinosaurs is really one of the tribes that Direwolf seems to want to make work aside from strangers. And we are getting more and more interesting tools. We only just recently already saw a dinosaur-centric Elysian deck make top 8 of the ETS, so there's definitely some potential there, and this card shores up a bunch of nice spots and provides another great buff target for Evelina, and helps with some issues because the mentioned Aegis units can be pretty problematic for time decks often because the time is particularly bad at dealing with Aegis units. Another interesting interaction is Dark Return, because the first time you just trade 1-for-1, not that great, but the turn after you can already Dark Return it, get another scry out of it, and kill something small and then have a 3/3 left behind that they might have to kill again. It has the usual fragility that most units in the game have that cost 3 or less, like dying to torch, annihilate and that stuff, or being stopped by ambush. But a lot of the Aegis units, for example, are in decks and colors that don't even have ambush units to deal with this. And even then, you often just, like, the most common ambush unit here usually is Desert Marshal, and Desert Marshal still trades with the Stalker, so you at least still get a 1-for-1 out of it, plus the Scry on top. So yeah, the card is kind of a nice role player, has some interesting potential, might even be interesting in something like Praxis tokens, because we have Obelisk and Arcana Monitor as additional ways to make it bigger than 2/2, because as a 2/2 it's a bit underwhelming, because it mostly just trades, and it becomes really interesting when you get a 2-for-1 out of it and the Scry, rather than just a 3-cost removal that kills something that costs the same or cheaper and gives you a Scry one, sort of like extract. So this has a lot of potential to be a better extract, and also the potential to deal with cards that you otherwise have issues with, like the obnoxious small and medium-sized Aegis units. So yeah, I kind of like the design. I wish it was 3 healths naturally, potentially, but I could see this being already a bit too good, simply because having a 3-drop that is a 2-for-1 very often and gives you a Scry in addition might just be a bit too swingy and oppressive. So they want to make you work for the buff, so that you can still get the swingy play out of it, but not by default, basically. So it doesn't work all the time. Since, yeah, playing this against, if this had 3 health against aggro, I can see how this is like pretty painful to just play it, kill one of their guys, and the next turn you have a 2/3 that blocks the other like 1 and 2 drops, and makes it pretty hard for them to stop. It would still die to torch at least, so these decks have a recourse, but yeah. I'm pretty sure they tested it as a 2/3 and probably felt it was a bit too strong for a role player uncommon, and dialed it back a bit to not make it too good. Yeah, but this definitely has a bunch of interesting applications, both in main decks and in sideboards. Sure, we have seen an initiation, which helps us deal with Aegis and stuff, but initiation is sort of a lot slower and requires another card in play, like it requires another unit to go with, which you might not always have, especially on turn 3. And the other thing is, it costs you an attack and or a block with the unit that you use the initiation on, while this is the full package, the initiation plus the body, in addition to what you already have going on, so it's much more tempo efficient, basically, especially if the Stalker sticks around. And last but not least, I really like the artwork. The artwork is super cool. This is probably my favorite dinosaur artwork in the game so far. I had a plastic toy Dilophosaurus from the first Jurassic Park movie when I was a kid, and it was my favorite like dinosaur toy from all like the Dino Riders and Jurassic Park dinos that I had. So I have Dilophosaurus related stuff has a special place in my heart, basically. So that's kind of nice, and this is like a really cool Dilophosaurus inspired dinosaur for Eterna. Really cool artwork. Looks really nice, and there's definitely a couple of like nice things to try with this, even though it's not, say, a bomb legendary like some of the other cards that we have had spoiled in the last couple of days. But yeah, it's an interesting role player that helps make decks, time decks, a bit more well-rounded and consistent with this Scry, and also providing a nice package answer to problem cards like Bethalo and Silverwing Familiar that otherwise sometimes just randomly run away with the game against time decks too easily. Alright, that's it for my very first exclusive spoiler review and exclusive spoiler reveal. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you think about the card and about the design and artwork and all that stuff. It's a really cool looking, nice card. A bit more on the balanced and dialed backside to not be too oppressive. It's only an uncommon after all, but I think there will be a bunch of things that we can do with this in Constructed. Especially looking forward to put this in my Evelina dinosaur deck. If you don't know about that deck yet, check it out. It's in the deck tech videos. It's called Dynamite, inspired by a pun that one of my viewers made on stream when I brewed it. And this fits right in and is a nice addition in a very unit-heavy streamlined deck to have built-in answers. Alright, that's it for this time again. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this episode, please drop a like and consider to subscribe and turn on your notifications to not miss any future videos. I'm also currently working on editing and uploading the ETS matches from my ETS final with Combre Party yesterday, so stay tuned for those coming up later today or tomorrow as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.